Assalamualaikum. Hello, hi, namaste. Hope you're fine. As you know, always try to connect you with the people who are doing great and inspiring the world. Today we have Bryce Vance. He is the CEO and founder of Funnel Driven LLC and also the author of book The Pending Title. Today we will try to learn something from him and we'll know more about him. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we actually do have an official title for that book now. It's called How Prolific Mistakes Make Prolific Profits, and it's coming out, I think, January. It's finishing editing right now. And I was just honored to be a guest author in Virtually Limitless as well, which is available now on Amazon for anybody that wants to learn from there's about 15 or 18 of us that all collaborated on this book. And I think we're giving it away for like 99 cents right now on Amazon. So
That's really interesting. So as I was read your bio, and there are also US Chimera developments and also Funnel LLC, Funnel Driven LLC. I'm pronouncing it wrong somehow, but I want to know uh, the drive behind all these initiatives. Uh, how you started, like there's something I read their bio. That is something. So I would just want that how you take, who inspire you to take that initiative. What's the story behind? If you feel easy, can you please share with our audience?
yeah, so it's like it just like anybody, like you ask Bill Gates, you ask Jeff Bezos, you ask the dude that owns the deli down the street, or even yourself and many of the people watching this. It's not so much like I woke up one day and I was just like, this is what I'm gonna do, right? It was an evolution that has taken place over many, many years, over many, many failures, over many, many successes. And it took really kind of one of the hardest points in my life to come to the conclusion of this is who I am. This is how I want to change the world. This is the impact I want to make. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I kind of more or less, I call myself like a prolific mistake maker, right? That's why the book is called How Prolific Mistakes Make Prolific Profits. Because historically speaking, I grew up here in the United States, and much like many of the people here in the US, we had a rebellious time when we were young teenagers, and then we ended up making just a ton of poor choices from being a teenager to college, partying too much, going out and wasting time, not really focusing on helping somebody, just more wasting time. And that kind of all came to a fulcrum point when like I realized that I have to be a functioning member of society and I have to give more than I take. And so then it led me on this journey of, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? What am I good at? And one of the things that I've always kind of been really in tune with was that even in my darkest times, I got the most enjoyment out of helping somebody else, right? And so it's always been kind of fallback. I've been good at sales. I've done every sales job except fast food at some point in my life. Everything from selling jewelry to selling cell phones to selling customer service plans over the phone to selling oil changes, right? And in 2013, I started my first company, like under my name, where I wasn't just like a contractor, but like it was mine. And this marketing kind of came at the same time. I studied marketing and web development in college, but I didn't really do anything with it, right? Like I played with it a little bit. I didn't really do anything with it. And then when I started my first company, I was broke. I didn't have any money. I couldn't hire somebody to do it, but I knew that I needed to market and advertise. So I did it for myself and really kind of just built up knowledge and assets and expertise. And then I started working part-time for marketing companies to build up my experience, studied a ton more, went back to do courses, and then actually started through that experience. I ended up getting the honor of getting to know a lot of good people in the industry and getting coached by some of the biggest people. Like I've done Frank Kern's stuff, Billie Jean's stuff. I've done Social Paragon stuff. I've done HubSpot stuff. I've gone through a bunch of stuff with Tribe and several different places. And then when I left my first company, kind of like the darkest point in my life happened. And it was, okay, well, now I know who I am. Now I know why I'm here. I'm just going to do it. I'm either going to win or I'm going to die trying, but I'm going to make sure that every day I'm better than the last, and every day that we're looking to help somebody. So it wasn't just like, I woke up on a Tuesday and I was like, I'm going to be a digital marketer. It's everything that came through from like when I first started to today, and even progressing forward, has kind of led me down this path. And this is the best way that we can serve others, just based off of what I love doing, what I'm comfortable with, what I know, and how I know I can get somebody a result.
That's really amazing. I think that's really amazing, inspiring. So as you mentioned, they also mentioned your bio, and now you also mentioned I think we all gone through some tough time, and it's happened. In fact, life is the combination of ups and downs. But there are many people when gone through the tough situation, when gone through the darkest periods, they just they give up, they stop. uh, they just stand their hands and then stop doing any other thing. So I just want to know what's actually motivates you, how you deal with that situation, what's your strategy, can we can say, or what's your secrets that help you to manage these situations, because it's the part of life, and there are many people don't take any initiative just because of that they would get the failure, they would lose. So many people don't take initiative just because of that. So what you do in that period, and what's your advice would be?
I think the best thing that, this is going to sound harsh, and I don't mean it to sound harsh, but I think the best thing that anybody can do is, quite honestly, get over it. And I still have bad days. I still have days I'm unmotivated. All of us do. I still have the imposter syndrome's a real thing. Like even if you are like Batman of whatever it is that you do, if you're operating with morals and integrity and ethics, to some degree, you're going to feel like you can do better, right? And that's a good sign. The fear of failure is nothing more than an excuse for you not to do something. I've fallen victim to it. My team members have fallen victim to it. Everybody on the planet has fallen victim to it at some point. The people that are really making an impact, regardless of how big that impact is, even if you only impact one person's life, you've changed the world for the better. They just decided, okay, I'm scared of failure, but I'm still going to try. Worst case scenario, I'm right back where I'm at. And there's something to be said about the fact that worldwide, regardless, even with the craziness that's going on with COVID and 2020 kind of just being a crazy year for everybody, people are always going to have a fallback. Somewhere, somebody will be hiring. If you give it your all and you fail at running a business or starting a business, you can go get a job and you can try again. I mean, you've got people out there that didn't even make their first successful business until they were 40, 50, 60, 70 after dozens of failures. You not taking action because you're afraid of failing is the only reason you're failing. You can fail and still succeed. Marshall Silver, he's one of my old coaches, but he's a international hypnotist. One of his sayings is "fail forward fast," and it makes perfect sense, because the only difference between somebody who's working a 9 to 5 that doesn't like their job, that's just doing it to get by, and the person that they look up to is the person they look up to has failed so many times that a failure to them is just a faster way to get to a win. So they do it quickly. Best advice I can give somebody is don't be afraid of rejection or failure. Embrace it. It's gonna happen. Just do it anyways.
Exactly, and that's really important. And actually, the people who, and I think so, we all have that fear. We all go through that situation. But the people who empower that fear, and then,
Mhm.
as you mentioned, that get out of that, they are the people who create something, who create an impact, and they are the people who do something, and that's really important. Sir, as you are also the author of a book, I really actually the title amazed me more. If I'm expanding, so what's the uh, why you choose this title, and then what you portrayed through your book? What's the message in this book we want to know?
So the title was come up with really kind of just as an expression of what the book is encompassing. The book, How Prolific Mistakes Make Prolific Profits, is really just telling part of my life story and using myself as an example of if I can do it, you can do it. You just have to do it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm nothing special. I'm no different or better than anybody else out there. I'm just stubborn. I've failed. I've started over about 4 or 5 times in my life. I've made mistakes. I've done things that I shouldn't have done. I don't regret any of it because it all got me to where I am now. And it was all a learning exercise or a learning experience. One of my favorite quotes that kind of inspired me to write the book was, I don't lose, I either win or learn. And I think that's something that's important for a lot of people to know, because myself included, a lot of us have this idea that if we don't win, that we immediately lose and that it's the end of the world, right? And that's not true. It's yeah, you're going to lose, you're going to fall on your face a couple thousand times in your life, but every single time you do, you learn something from it, and it's just a way for you to either become better, or you to operate better, or you to change your mindset, or you to change your situation or where you're at. And it doesn't all, like, life is not all sunshine and rainbows, right? You have to have an abundant mindset. You have to have a positive mindset. And the biggest tool that anybody can have, whether you're a sales professional, a business owner, a podcaster, an author, whatever you are, is just have the right mindset. If you've got the right mindset, you can pretty much make it through anything that happens to you. You just have to keep that mindset in key. That doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days. It just means that bad days are no longer a problem, because you're going to get through that bad day and you're going to get to a better day.
Exactly, exactly. I think that you perfectly explained. That's really. So also there's a great karma. There are line was mentioned karma, and it was like consistency, and that's. So I also want to know about that. What is this? Is actually also amazed me. So I want to know more about that. Can you please explain?
Yeah, so we have two mantras that I coined. One is, you were made to thrive, not just survive. And that one's our mission statement as a company. Our entire purpose is, we're here to help you thrive, not just survive. We're here to help you level up, to make a bigger impact, to change the world, leave a legacy. And the way that we do that is really through consistency of message, right? So consistency conquers complacency is our second mantra. And what that one really is pointing at is, one of the biggest issues that I have with kind of society as a whole is, we live in a beautiful time. 2020 is the most informed and like educated point in human history that's been recorded so far. And yet we still have people around the world that aren't taking advantage of certain things. For instance, higher education historically used to be a college or a university. Today, you can pretty much learn anything you need to learn as long as you've got access to the internet. You can either do a free college, you can do self-study, you can hire a coach, you can do mentorships. Hell, YouTube University exists, for God's sakes, today. And it's to a point where ignorance is a choice in today's world. It's not something that it's not something that's just bespoken to you and that you have to deal with. For the majority of people, now this isn't everybody, but for the majority of people, you coming home after hating your life, working a job you hate to scrape by and barely make a living is a choice that you continue to make every day. If you don't like the circumstance, change the circumstance. If you don't have a valuable skill, learn one. You have the time, just make it happen. So when I'm talking about consistency conquers complacency, I'm talking about consistently making that choice, or consistently putting out content, or consistently having that mindset where you do have a bigger purpose than just yourself. You do have a reason for being here. Because let's be honest with ourselves for a second. You beat a 1 in 100 trillion chance just to survive, just to exist. To be born is over 1 in a trillion chance. And you're going to tell me that you think you were born to work at a McDonald's for the rest of your life? No. You were here. You're here for a reason. You're here for a bigger purpose than to just flip burgers. And if you just want to sit there and be complacent with that, that's a choice. You have to consistently want something better and work for it to conquer that complacency.
Exactly. I think we lost many, as you mentioned, that we lost many chances, we lost many opportunities just to survive, and just with that mindset, if we stop what we're writing now, what we're doing now, then what would happen if we lost? What would happen? I lost everything. So just because of that mindset, we never start, we never take any initiative, and we live the same life which we don't want to live. As us also want to know, is it we all want to be make live good, we all want to be right all the time. So I also want to know, is it possible that can you uh, be right all the time in every situation in everyone's life, or is it okay sometimes like you can't be, we want we and because of that, to become right, to become good in everyone's life, in every situation, we pretend we not uh, we not deal the situation as we want to deal, we not as real, but we just pretend fake, we just to prove our image, just to make our image amazing, just to make our image good. So I also want to know about that. What you know, that
So
can we be always, yeah. So,
so a couple things. I hate to cut it short, but I actually have to get running. So I'm going to answer your question, then I've got to hop off. But I appreciate you having me on here for connecting the
okay.
world. To kind of answer your last question, I'm going to answer it in kind of a different way. One of my old coaches, and a guy I was privileged to meet. His name was Sean Whalen. Um, he's a he's a marvelous guy. He's got a super impactful story. But one of the biggest things that I learned from him is be real, be raw, be relevant. Do not fake it till you make it is horrible fucking advice. Okay, nobody should ever follow that. You need to be you. You need to authentically be yourself. You need to embrace your flaws. You need to embrace your strengths. And you need to go with what you have passion for. If at the end of the day you don't love what you do and love the impact that you make, then find out what that is and do that, because that's going to be what lets you be successful in whatever you constitute success at. Success doesn't necessarily mean money. Success could mean freedom. Success could mean time. Success could mean family. Success could mean money. Success could mean anything. It's not the same for everybody, but you need to go after your authentic truth. And I'll leave you just with one piece of advice. University, I think it was Cambridge. I may be wrong. It was one of the Ivy League schools. They did a study about 3 or 4 years ago, if I remember correctly, and they found that your body is metaphysically connected to truth. And all of you can do this. If you guys hold your arm up at like a 90 degree and put a weight at the end, or hold something up and hold it as long as you can until your arm fails, and then do the exact same thing but tell a lie, you're going to lose about 40 to 50% of your strength. Your body has a physical reaction to dishonesty. Your body also has a physical reaction to truth. If you align with your truth, if you're honest, you're ethical, you operate with integrity, you're doing what you're passionate about, you're not lying to yourself or others, you will manifest that and your body will respond to it. You'll know. So to answer your question, I don't think anybody should I don't think anybody should give a false image of who they are. Just be yourself, and if yourself isn't where you want to be, then level up yourself. Put in the work, put in the reps, put in the time to get to who you want to be where you want to be. Don't fake it though. Be real, be raw, be relevant.
Great, great. I think that's really amazing. So exactly, and to continue this conversation, I also want to somehow with the passage of time, as there some happened in our past and this have happened in many situations, but with the passage of time, we came to learn that what we believe in the past was not truth. What we believe was not the right. Now what we are learning that, and then it becomes somehow difficult to change that perspective. As we were talking about mindset, sometimes it's become difficult to change that mindset because that mindset, when you get something new that is totally opposite of your previous mindset, so it was just like I was wrong. How it is possible? How could it be wrong? I talked about that thing to many people. I talked about I give the proof of that thing to many people, and now I get something else. I get the totally reverse objection of that thing, and now I have to believe one thing. And there's a denial option in. I think there's a denial in your own self that that war comes with your own self. So I also want
Yeah.
to how it is somehow difficult to unlearn. There many people say you have with the passage of time you have to unlearn many things. So I
I
to that I
I
also want some suggestion. Yeah, yeah, please.
I actually have to get going. So I apologize. I'm out of time. I've got another scheduled call. I'm actually 7 minutes late for right now.
Okay.
Uh, but so go. Thank you for having me on. If anybody wants to connect with me, if you go to linktreebryce.phonesites.com, you can contact me there. I'm happy to answer any questions. And then, Asma, if you have any more questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. It'll just have to be a time that I've got an opening. But thank you so much for having me on. And I really do hope that that helps everybody that's watching and kind of sets everybody on the right path.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. It's really honor to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good. Okay. Okay, guys, we were talking about mind development. As we know that development is very important for all of us. For all of us, the best of time, as we're talking about the best of time, there are many things that we learn. There are many things that we came to know that these are the things, and that happens. That happens. That usually happens. So life is basically to learn with the passage of time, and there are many learnings you get. There are many new beliefs that you get every day, and that's somehow the totally opposite of your previous beliefs or your previous knowledge, your previous perspective. So with the passage of time, you have to change them. You have, and there is no shame that how can I change? How is it? How how it is possible that the things that I used to learn since my childhood, how they can be wrong? How they can be how they can be not okay, how that possible, and that's possible, it's possible. There nothing in this world, nothing is law. There is nothing is law. There in nature is I think nature is very we can say it's we uncertain. Then many things come. There is not only a one way or one solution to the one problem. There are certain many kind of solutions for the one problem only. There are many solutions for the one problem only. So it's totally okay to have different beliefs. It's okay, totally okay to have your beliefs that change with the passage of time. If you get something new, if you get something different, if you get something better with the passage of time, I think we don't need to take a second to accept it. We don't need to think about it. We just need to accept that thing. We just need to accept. We just and work on our mindset. That's really important. That's really important. If we just stuck on something, if we just stuck with how it is possible, then we get when we lost in that situation. And to update yourself, to make yourself unique, to make yourself you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to work on your personality. You have to work the new things, and that's totally okay to learn. That's totally okay to deny the things that you have. Like we all do mistakes. We all do many. We have beliefs that are not okay. We all have some kind of mindset that is somehow is not okay. So it's just perfect. And the other thing, you don't need to be uh, you don't need to be okay in everybody's life. Like if you're even with your all goodness, you're still a villain in someone's life. You're still a villain in someone's life. You're still a devil in someone's life. So this means that's okay. Just okay. Just try to be more positive. Just try to be more okay. Just try to believe more positive. We just more focus. It's okay to have negativity. It's okay to have all that negative emotions, negative things, but try to be more positive. Try to do more positive. That's the message. That's the whole message. I think. Thank you so much for your watching us. At the end, we always say one thing, as I mentioned, that stay positive, be positive, and spread positivity. In this way, we can bring positivity. Take care of yourself and others. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.